We went to Grand Canyon National Park on the South Rim and stayed at Trailer Village RV Park, which is the RV park with full hookups inside the Grand Canyon National Park. This is our site. The spaces were somewhat close, but there were lots of trees and space at the end of each row, so you didn't really feel cramped. It is a large park with many rows, and there are 80 full hookup sites. The campground has bathrooms with flush toilets, but no showers. For the showers, you have to drive to the concession area, which they give you tokens for. We had elk visit the campground a few times. They did not seem to be shy of humans, but we did keep our distance. We came right up on these two when we were walking Ivy, but they didn't seem to mind her and she didn't seem to mind them. There's a 13-mile greenway trail for walkers and bikers that goes throughout the park. It surrounded our campground and went to all different areas. It was a great place to walk Ivy. We did not pass many bikes. We did pass lots of ravens. They were everywhere. These are the showers and laundry for both Trailer Village Campground and Mather Campground that doesn't have hookups. This is Market Plaza, about a half-mile from the campground. It has a general store, a post office, the Yavapai Lodge and restaurant, and a shuttle stop. This is the visitor center area. They had a cafe where I got a nice chai, and they have a store, and they have a visitor center which was closed due to lack of staffing. You can also pick up the shuttle here and park. The shuttle goes all over the park and can be picked up every 15 minutes. We walked the Rim Trail for 3 miles from the Bright Angel Trailhead to Mather Point. As the name suggests, it walks along the rim and gives great views of the canyon. It also passes many historic buildings along the way, and they're often filled with shops or information. This is the Tovar Hotel. And this is the Bucky O'Neill Cabin. And Lookout Studio. This is the Bright Angel Lodge. And a quick view in the lodge. There's also a cool geology trail where every meter walked represents a million years, and they show you the rocks of each period of time as you walk along. These are the different layers that are laid down in the Grand Canyon. These layers are part of the grand staircase that goes from Bryce Canyon to the Grand Canyon. The youngest level, or top level, of the Grand Canyon is the oldest level, or the bottom level, of Zion. And the top level of Zion is the oldest level of Bryce, thus creating a conceptual staircase, although variations in the uplift of the Colorado Plateau actually make the elevation at Grand Canyon much higher than at Zion. So it's more of a wave. That afternoon, we drove 5 miles from the campground to the IMAX Theater in Tucson to see Grand Canyon Rivers of Time. It wasn't bad, it was a fun stop. The next morning, it was time to hike down into the canyon, so we took the South Kaibab Trail down to Ooh-Ah Point. It was a mile down and a mile up. While trying to take the picture on the inset, my hat blew off. Lucky I didn't chase it, but I did sit down quickly, as you see at the edge of this cliff. These switchbacks seem much harder on the way up than they did on the way down. That night we went to see the moon rise at Mather Point, but first the sun had to set. This was part of a ranger program, and they had a telescope where we could see the moon up close. The second part of the program was a piano recital with moon-themed music that started with the Moonlight Sonata. They wanted to have the piano outside at Mather Point, but rain threatened, so it was held inside. The next morning, we headed to the Tovar Hotel for breakfast, where I was able to order a vegan burrito. When we walked the rim trail, we were in t-shirt and shorts, but now there's a snow squall outside. The hotel is very rustic, and the dining is Native American themed. After breakfast, we went in search of the Abert squirrel. It shares a common ancestor with the Kaibab squirrel that can be only found on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. The Abert squirrel is more common, but it's still pretty shy, and every time you get close, it runs away. But we did manage to find a couple. It is lighter in color than the Kaibab squirrel, and has lots of gray in its tail, where the Kaibab has a pure white tail. While looking for the squirrels, we came across this red-tailed hawk. And these deer. So it was a pretty successful morning. We were in a quieter area of the park, over near the dog kennels. That afternoon, we went to a hawk watch presentation and learned all about raptors. These are the counts they're doing at the Grand Canyon. This owl is a decoy used to draw the birds in so they can be better identified. They get curious and fly down. We saw one raptor while we were there. It turned out to be another red-tailed hawk. I couldn't tell what it is, but they knew. We had a surprise snowstorm as we were getting ready to leave. It was about 3 inches, and we had to get the snow off the roof of the camper.
Ooh, that's it for this post. See you next time.